Hello. Wow. Welcome back, everyone. Harrison.
Hello.
This is the NgoVo Convo podcast. I'm Veronica, and I'm joined by Harrison. He's over there, waving somewhere.
Probably. Yeah, I think.
Probably, maybe. And we're both here wanting an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us. Because it's about entertainment today.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But really, we are trying to clean up this never-ending backlog. But also, it's two people conversing.
Like NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo spot right above my head. Right there.
Genius.
That's what I'm here for. That's the only reason. Exactly.
Wow, perfect. You can watch every episode on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. And this video is sponsored by Olipop, but more on that later. Today's episode is a good episode. It's a good review. Good everything.
Already?
Because we'll be talking about Daredevil Born Again, Season 1.
Because
it's been 7 years.
Dude, it's been so long. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
but yes.
70 years? Damn.
Daredevil is back. First season has 9 episodes. There is a season 2 announced, and that will have the next 9 episodes. A little backstory, but originally season 1 was supposed to be 18 episodes, which is like something new that, Disney Plus never really does. But, 9 episodes is what we got, so it is what it is.
But like 9 episodes of like 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah, 40, 50
versus
minutes.
Like the 30 minutes,
Yeah. Plus the 10 minutes of credits. That's what we're like trying to say, yeah.
Yes, that's what we're really trying to say.
But like I said, it has been 7 years since Netflix Daredevil ended.
Is that when it was canceled or since the last season? That's the thing. Hold on.
That's when it was canceled.
Okay.
Season 3 came out October 2018.
Damn, really? Hold on.
Yeah. It's been that long.
It's been longer, but... Oh, yeah, 2018.
No,
oh, my God.
No,
yeah.
It's 2018, yeah.
Jeez. Oh, my God.
We'll do some non-spoiler thoughts. Now, I know some people in our lives did not enjoy this series for a multitude of reasons.
Yep.
But Harrison, what were your non-spoiler thoughts walking into Daredevil Born Again?
So I had a very low expectation, even though higher than most MCU shows, because Daredevil was the show like on Netflix. I'm like, guys, this is how it should be. This is what it is. Like, this is what it's about. Like, this is so good, done very well, written very well, action good. And I think knowing that it was coming from Netflix to Disney, I think I tempered my expectations, expecting the show to be Disney-fied, even though they did give it an R rating, right?
Yeah,
it's an R rating,
a mature rating,
because definitely by the end of the season, oh my God, throughout the season, it's like actually. So I think even after they moved to Disney, I think they did a very good job in keeping majority, like most of the vibes that we got, and like the tone and like the violence from the OG run in Netflix. What it does feel like, I think overall I had fun. To answer your question, I still had fun watching. It felt very thrillery. It felt like they had you follow this plot, and I think you guys have mentioned this a lot, where it had to be reshot or it had to be it was redone a few times.
Yeah, it had to be reshot, I think 2 to 3 times, and then there was a creative like overhaul for it to be like rewritten with some original characters coming back into like the timeline to make it like canon, basically.
And it feels like it. You can tell when it happens, and you could tell at some points maybe it doesn't fully connect at times, but overall I think I had fun watching the show. I think the plot point was really good. We'll get into in spoiler section, we'll get into what I can tell why some people, aka some people in our lives, did not like this
Person,
really. It's just the one person, really. I think
Yeah,
overall
it's
it
one
was
person.
really fun. I think they got the vibes down here, but I can kind of see maybe where it's coming from. But I also think overall it's a good return. It's a good return to form, essentially. Like, hey, Daredevil's back. This is what you're gonna get. This is hopefully we'll get more of everything in next season and all that. So it's just I think it was nice coming back to this show. It was fun. It was good. What about you?
I agree with you on everything.
Excuse me.
I just think you just have to think about it as like a licensing thing, right? Like Netflix had Daredevil essentially for many years. And then Kevin decided all of a sudden this had to be canon at some point. He had to take it back.
Not just that. It's like, I'm sure the initiative was just trying to get everything under the Disney umbrella. Like the Disney like app, essentially, right? Watch Disney everything app, on Disney Plus.
That too.
And
Yeah. Just like how X-Men had to move over to Disney as well. It was essentially an overhaul to move everything to Disney Plus.
Yep. Yeah.
So for me, I was just happy after 7 long years we had this back.
But so just to clarify though, like I know the way we sound like we're like, oh, just because it's a license switch or just because like it's been that long, that's the only reason why it's good. I think it's actually good on its own. But I think
there are some details they could work on.
There are some things that they could work on, but I think they got the vibes done. They got like the tone. They got what made Daredevil good. They got it right. Like Charlie Cox is just reprising it so well. Like it just
and it's in the name. Born Again, Daredevil Born Again. That's
think,
all I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. And that's fair. And I think that's a very good way to say like, hey, it's Born Again. Like, look, it's back. We're starting off honestly relatively strong. Like, I think it's getting the vibes down, and I think we'll talk about certain things in the spoiler section.
Yeah, in the spoiler.
And I'm trying to not say too much. Overall, it was good. I had fun watching, and it's just done well. I can't wait for more.
No, me too. I'm excited for next year. Season 2 was already announced. Season 2 was announced before Season 1 even premiered. So they knew.
Well, granted, I think you said it, right? It was originally supposed to be a longer run anyway. So not that hard to promote already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But before we get into spoilers, we're going to take a quick break, talk about our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you. All of you. All right. Have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash and the guilt trip? Yeah, me too. You too. Harrison too. All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number 1, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. My co-host. That's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NgoVo15, NgoVo15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com. And we're back.
Back.
After that drink break, Olipop break, water break, whatever break you have. We are going to get into spoilers right now. Pause if you haven't finished all 9 episodes. This is the only warning. but we'll get into it. Right off the bat, see, episode 1 was a little crazy to kind of...
Yeah.
Because Foggy died.
Okay. Like, I still remember leading up to the show, right? We were already iffy on, like, who's coming back? Are they going to replace everyone?
Yep.
All this stuff. And then I think they announced the actor for Foggy's coming back. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, they're announcing all these people coming back. I'm like, that's awesome. This is great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just to find out he's off. He's off.
He got offed.
He got off the first episode. Like, goodbye.
He said goodbye.
Did you expect that?
No.
I thought he was just gonna get shot and go to hospital, get dealt with, because we just got back to the show. All of a sudden, death, and I'm like, oh, okay.
No, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, first episode back, and people are dying, and there's bleeding everywhere.
Oh man.
Did you like the whole Matt Fisk parallel going into the season, like this whole season basically?
Yeah. So yes, I do. And I thought it's done well in that, like, I think they kind of hit the reset button in a good way, in that, like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we start off like, hey, Matt Murdock is Daredevil, but now because there's, like, Foggy's dead, he decided to essentially hang up the cape again. Yeah. Again, because I think it happened once already, right?
I think so.
I need to.
I think he was struggling in Netflix. I think it was like
series. Season 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Post Elektra. Something about Elektra too. That's why I was like, oh, it's been a while. Comment down below. Let us know. I think, but yeah. So he hangs up his thing, but then also at the flip side, Fisk is going for mayorship, which is not crime lord based. So it's like they're
not
doing
Kingpin based.
He's not Kingpin, but he's kind of still Kingpin, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I love that the parallel is like they're trying to do things a different way, but also still fighting back, essentially the urge to be what they used to be.
Yeah. No, I just loved that parallel because you could just see the struggle from Matt, even when he was like an attorney, right?
Yep.
Like he couldn't think about it just from like an attorney aspect. He had to think about it, like vigilantes, like, bad guys here, but are they really bad guys? Are they doing the crime? Like, it was just so interesting to see that side of Matt, and also Fisk. Now, I do have a question about Fisk.
Okay.
Our friend who did not like the series said that there was too much of Fisk. Do you agree or disagree?
Too much of Fisk in the sense of, I think because I remember him saying this. And
he wanted Fisk to be like mysterious, like coming in and out, like every, like the beginning and end, basically.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because he is one of those big New York villains, if that makes sense. Like, he's big street level villain. So
yeah,
I don't think it was too much, because here's the thing. I don't remember. I feel like in season 1, yes. Season 2, he was essentially locked up most of the time. And in season 3, kind of locked up, but then freed, and then
he freed,
sorted out, right?
Yeah.
I think he...
And then Echo happened as well.
Here's the thing. I didn't really watch series. Echo. So that's it. Okay. Kingpin, I think the other thing is that Kingpin showed up in Hawkeye.
Yes.
But I think the difference was, like, in Hawkeye's scenario is that Kingpin wasn't officially canon for MCU. So just seeing him show up, you're like, oh, shoot. Is he like, is it actually the same Kingpin? Or is it like just,
different?
D'Onofrio just, taking on the mantle of Kingpin again, but it's just a different version of Kingpin? We didn't know. But now we know it's like officially. I don't think so. Here's my thing. I think for a show coming back from a long hiatus, I think they have to reestablish the vibes of what made Daredevil really good. And honestly, Vincent D'Onofrio is like a really good, plays Fisk really well. He has like that brutal, like very like, he has that air of like, I'm scared. Every time, like, remember in, like, I think season 1 already is like, this man, every time he's on this,
scary.
You could tell like he's like struggling, but it's like, but if he bursts, like he blows up, all of a sudden he's like terrifying. So I think they
Yeah.
wanted to recapture that and assure like fans that, hey, this is still the Daredevil series that you love, and this is one way to keep that vibe. I think it's more of a faith, just a show of good faith. Like, hey, this is good. We got someone that you guys, and he's good. He's just a good Fisk. So
No,
I
he's a
don't think
very
it's
good
too much. I
Fisk.
don't think it's too much right now because it's just like the show came back after 8 years, like you said, 7, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think eventually, if we could see more like villains, then cool. Like we got a little taste of Bullseye again, right? With
Which I
Poindexter.
love. I love the actor.
I know you do.
I love him.
I know you do. But no, it's just like getting. I think his gripe is just more like he wants to see other villains because he reads the comics, so I'm sure there's way more like Daredevil-esque villains that could be incorporated, which is fair. But I think for us getting the show back online essentially and say, hey, new era, but I think their move to do this is probably for the best.
Yeah.
But not saying that like that doesn't diminish the performance. I think
not at all.
He's still amazing.
Not from
here.
Charlie or Vincent.
No, and you could tell like for Vincent, like Fisk is shown like having to deal with the law legally and
Like,
understanding
legally.
like how much red tape he can't just cut through.
Yeah.
Of course, and like by the end he does, right? But it's just crazy to see like how much how much of an obstacle that is for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big struggle.
But did you feel that way? Do you feel that way? With like too much Fisk?
No, I thought it was like the right amount. Because
Yeah.
just like you said, like, we are basically being reintroduced to Daredevil. Like, actually being canon within, like, MCU. Like this timeline, this phase.
And granted, I think like the Netflix was technically canon. It's just back then, Marvel and Disney, Marvel mainly just couldn't didn't do TV tie-ins that well.
Yeah.
Because they did it better than Agents of Shield. Agents of Shield did it once really well.
Yeah, it did once really well.
But the show wasn't that good until that point. So
Yeah.
so it's like,
You know, pick and choose our battles.
yeah.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I think the right amount of Fisk. And the right amount of push and pull from both Matt and Fisk. I think that's what really made this season.
Yeah. And I can see where someone could get kind of bored though, because it was a lot of law.
Yes, courtroom
Stuff. Like if we're talking about plot point, right? There's a lot of courtroom drama, and but here's the thing: is that I guess this is the hard part, right? Matthew Murdock
that's not really
is
Daredevil
right now. Yeah. So it's like what kind of? I think they had to show conflict at a quote unquote human level versus superhero level, right? Where he's doing everything by the law. I think even like just trying to get what's his name? The that one vigilante,
the
White Tiger, getting like they successfully got him like cleared, but then all of a sudden, humanity and like just,
I mean,
he
died.
Life happens and he just gets killed because the law can only go so far, and I think that's also just showcasing like how much he has to go against his internal struggle with like letting the law do its work.
Yeah. By the way, White Tiger, the actor, did die before.
I did not know that
like
until you mentioned it. By the time I saw it,
he died in 2022, I think, with cancer. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which shows how long this has been going.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been in production.
Well, this was supposed to come out
earlier, right?
Much earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just reminded me. Damn, there was like a.
Ooh. There was a delay because of writer strikes and.
Yeah.
All that stuff, reshoots. That's why.
Oh gosh, yeah, dude, you're right.
Because we've been talking about this since 2023, and essentially.
Yeah, because at that point, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right.
I feel like the gears in your head is like turning a little.
Damn. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the law and like courtroom stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just shows us that Matt, I mean, has another side to him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. And it's just it's notable that he wants to continue to be Daredevil, but he can't because of what happened to Foggy. Like, he just has to let the law do its thing.
And I think it's like the mourning, right? It just shows like how much he hasn't fully been able to mourn for his best friend and all that. So it shows his struggle on that front. Because even like just that episode where he sees the Punisher for like a split second, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, which felt like a very shoo-in moment. I'm gonna be honest. But it
felt
like
very random.
Felt very cameo. Very.
Yeah.
It felt very cameo, right? And I was like, it was like, hey, look, Punisher's here. Congrats. But it was like still like showing like, hey, this guy's like. I love that. He was just like, hey, you haven't said his name this entire time. Why can't you say his name?
Yeah. Why can't you say it? Yeah.
Yeah. Which is again, they just do. It's just very. It hits at an emotional level. They like tug a lot.
No, they do. Any fighting sequence that you really enjoy?
The Punisher at the very end. Yes. Holy crap, dude. Even the first sequence,
the first sequence.
Even the first sequence, like the first 10 minutes, like him fighting Bullseye was also really cool. But the last episode, straight up, absolute Daredevil, like absolute like Netflix Daredevil, like I forgot what's their group called again? Oh my gosh. Defenders, like the Defenders.
Defenders, vibe. Yeah.
Like dark, like violent, like hey, he's just slashing like
throats and faces and
not that I'm like all for it, but it's just like it just felt like very Return to Form. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like this is I'm cringing and I'm like squirming, but I'm like, yeah, keep going. But oh dude, come on.
Not this close.
Me watching it like 1 a.m. in the morning because it's dark, and I'm like,
I knew it. You're watching this late. I knew it. I predicted correctly.
I didn't say anything before this point, so I just outed myself now on purpose.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But that was I think those two, but that was like my most favorite like moment of like, hey, we're just gonna go to town now.
Yeah. I think what I liked was at the beginning, I think it was episode 2 or 3, and he was trying to save the White Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
So he went to his apartment.
Yep.
And then that last sequence where he was like fighting the 2 cops. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a good like intro into like what Matt can do outside of a suit, basically. But they always pointed out that he's blind.
Yeah. Yeah, they always do. They're like, oh, he's just blind. What? But
yeah,
so good.
It is good.
Also, him like again, the show does a very good job in like it's sometimes just not that violent, or it's just sometimes just like, oh, it's just a courtroom drama. But then all of a sudden they take you out of it and they're like, hey, he just broke this dude's leg. Like straight up just like stomped on it.
Post bank.
Yep, after the heist thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think there's like that times where it's like it reels you in, but then like it's like, hey, but by the way, we could also do this.
Mm-hmm. And I love with the bank heist, Kamala's dad had a little cameo.
See, had legit cameo at that one too.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I don't know if some people, this is where I can tell like some people may not like too much, but I think it's also coming from back then, like the vibes. I think I still have that like feeling deep down where it's always fun to see like how things are connected, right? Because it's like they're all in New York, of course it could happen. But I think he mentions he's like, no, he's not. He mentions where he's from, and it's like, oh, that's true, he's not actually there, but he's just commuting for work, so that makes sense.
Hoboken, I think. New Jersey.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey, and he's like blah blah blah. So it's still fun to see those kind of interactions, and it's just cute where he's like, oh, it's like what's her name? What's her actual super name again? I can't remember all of a sudden.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Miss Marvel. And it's just like our Barrio Miss Marvel. He's like, nice. I don't know who that is, and I can't tell if he's being serious or just being, just
I
being
know. He's just being
like,
nice
or he's like very
about
nice.
it.
It's like, yeah, that's cool.
Did you like the whole Muse section?
That was, dude. Yeah. I mean, yes, because I liked it for the sense of like it felt dark again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like, this is where it feels like the second half of the season. I can't. This is where as I'm watching, I'm like, is this a rewrite or is this real? Or is this the original, right? Like, this is where I'm questioning sometimes as like an analytical brain looking at it. I'm like, is this like, because this is good, but was this originally there? Because
I think the rewriting was scattered around.
Yeah. Because even
bit. You can tell.
Even though, like, I'm going to say like the second half of the season, like the last 3 episodes felt very like, actually last 4 felt very different. Like, compared to the first half of the season, like, So, did you like it?
Well, yes, but there was one part where I was like a little confused. Because, so we get like the whole Muse kind of like plot line basically in the middle of this season, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I think it's like, I don't remember, episode 6 or 7 with Heather being the therapist to the guy that's actually Muse.
Mm-hmm.
And like they just kind of like, I feel like they ripped off the Band-Aid with that guy, like his real form.
Very fast.
Yeah, like very quickly.
Yes.
And like from 6 to 7 or wherever it was, like it just felt too quick.
So this is what I'm talking about, where I can't tell if it was a rewrite thing or what if that was what if they wanted that to be like a bigger plot point, like an overarching thing, but couldn't and made it like a 3. Because they introduced him early on at the book signing.
Yes.
And it doesn't show up ever again. Like legitimately, because they focus on the white tiger.
The white tiger.
And then kind of
actual Muse.
Yes, then going back. So it's like, I can't tell if we're talking in terms of like if the flow. This season did feel choppy, if I'm going to be honest. And the vibes are there, but it's like I couldn't stop thinking like, well, okay, now we're focusing on White Tiger here, but now we're Muse.
We're back to Muse.
I guess they tried to tie in Muse early on.
Yes.
And then Muse is sorted out.
Therapy.
Yeah, he goes to therapy, and I was like, oh, congrats, like they sorted that out.
He loves his therapist.
Yes. You could tell where they're like putting the plot points, like where they're setting things up, but it's just like it does feel kind of like choppiness. It's okay, courtroom stuff, and then now Muse, and then now that Muse is settled, we're back to Poindexter from the very beginning.
Yes. It does feel choppy. That is a very good word for this season.
And maybe that is a gripe I can see some people have, and I would say yes, that would be a con for how things are, but I think that is probably hopefully just a byproduct of the reshoots, and that next season will be a lot more clean.
Yeah, cleaner. Yeah.
You brought it up, but I didn't even think about it till now, honestly. So
because I was like, wait, we saw him at the book signing, and then I was like, that was it.
Yeah.
And then it was just Muse, and then it was like therapy time, and then he dies.
Yeah,
that's essentially what happened.
And
to
I think
Muse.
it literally was just like, oh, look, vigilantes are bad. You could tell it was like a shoe-in for like hey, look, the task force is like good. You know what they're doing it for. It's just, I think you're right. Like the ramp up to that point was just kind of like, hey, here's his thing. He's bad. All right. Oh, but he's about to mess with the guy or girl that Daredevil likes. Heather's about to get wrecked. Oh, he's dead. She shot him. And do you feel like her flip was a weird 180?
Yes, very much so.
Or it didn't feel like it alluded to.
I feel like we missed something about Heather.
I was going to say, she talked about how she had like this thing about vigilantes and the mask, right? Yeah. But she never kind of went with, is it a good or bad thing? I think she was, or actually, no, wait. They did have an argument. And she was like, I think she said that it was kind of cowardice. Did she say that?
Yeah, because she said like Muse and like Daredevil, they're all the same.
No, I think she talked about it before then, even too, like before. For the book.
Oh,
See,
the book.
that's what I'm saying. It feels choppy because it's like they drop that plot point here and then they leave it and then they come back to it later. Actually, I think it's fine. It's just like, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot. But you know what? They did have an argument because remember she was like, "Oh, but you know Daredevil, right? So maybe you can get, or you know Punisher, or you know Daredevil. Can you get me like a scoop so I can talk to them for my book?" So she did talk about it.
She would,
But I don't remember. Now that we're talking about it, I was like, damn, I don't remember exactly. But I think it was leaning towards like, oh, the mask is bad.
The mask, yeah.
I think she was leaning towards that. Comment down below and correct
I think
me,
she was like, she's an interesting character. I'm just not confident how well season 2 will go for her. Because it felt like her trust with Fisk, basically, at the end of this season.
It makes sense, but it does feel rushed. I think now that you mention it, does feel a little rushed.
Yeah.
But again, I unfortunately, I think the one con for this season, for the start of this season, is that there's reshoots, and you can kind of tell at times that the plot point is not consistent, and there's some creative like changes at times, or maybe it is, and it's just that choppy. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? I know you binge watched this, but I was watching this weekly, so I wasn't able to capture how choppy it was until we're talking about it, and I'm like, oh, you're right, because if I'm thinking about Muse, I'm like, oh yeah.
And I'm only saying
at the very beginning.
No, and I'm saying this, so I told you wrong. I was actually only the last 3 I was behind, so I actually binged the last 3. But no, before then though, I binged like 3 as well, and you could tell like it was the White Tiger scenario and then Muse, like the intro.
Yep.
But it's like
yeah,
I can see where it happened,
mini
but
arcs.
now I'm like, it felt like mini arcs.
Yeah.
But I will say like they still did the overall like parallel of, like the whole struggle is still Daredevil. Well, eventually Matt fighting against becoming Daredevil, and then eventually returning to it, and then Fisk also fighting his crime lord like tendencies and actually just returning legally to be it. But he's doing crime lord stuff legally, which is crazy.
Yes, because Vanessa is just as crazy as him.
Yeah,
Vanessa is just as crazy.
No, she actually did very well. Like the actress did so well on that because they went all in on her like unhinged side. Because they kind of alluded to it, and they kind of showed it.
I mean, to be with the man with Fisk, you kind of got to be a little crazy. But she was like off the rails.
So the guy that he keeps caged up was the guy that she was cheating on him with? Was that what it was?
Paul, yes.
Okay.
Because remember, they were talking about the Netflix series, like. She was like, oh, like, if you remember in therapy, she was like, oh, but you were gone for so long. Like,
yeah.
I was lonely. So yeah, she was chatting up someone else.
Yeah. So I got that. But I just want to make sure. I was going to mention, I thought he died.
I did not think she would shoot him.
That's the thing. So yeah, I didn't think so. But then I also didn't know. I actually was surprised that he popped back up because I thought as Fisk was beating him, I thought he beat him to like death.
Oh, beat him to death. Yeah.
But apparently not. So I was like, oh, okay.
No.
Never mind.
No.
Because he's beating him up while was it Matt or someone else's at the very same time someone else. I think Matt was beating up someone else.
Matt was beating up someone else.
It was just the
Muse.
That's right. Yeah, Muse. Yeah. The parallel beatings. I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh god.
Shock factor.
Can we ship Frank and Karen? Can we please ship them?
Yeah. I was surprised.
Officially ship them.
Did you watch season 2 of Punisher?
Yeah.
Punisher? That was weird.
Wow. I did.
Did they? Oh, okay. Because I only watched half. I think. I don't think I ever finished season 2.
Oh, did you never?
But did they allude to like the romance?
Yes.
Right. Okay, they did. Because she showed up more in season 2, right? Or both seasons.
Both seasons, but more in 2 towards the end. Towards the end. Did not watch.
Okay. Cool.
It's fine. Yeah, there were some like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
With them like speaking.
I love that he's like, coffee fixes everything. And I'm like, I was like, homeboy's right though.
It's true.
He's
but
true.
we need to ship Frank and Karen.
Because I know for someone that hasn't, this actually is a good example of like someone that probably didn't. If you haven't watched the Punisher series, they do allude to it a lot. Like they
do.
Initially, It just felt like, oh, was it brother sistery? But then like, oh, nope,
it's not.
not. So I'm for it. But it's like I was kind of hoping like they wouldn't shove it back to like they wouldn't push her back to like Matt, because I think that door has closed.
No, it has, and it should stay closed.
Yes. So.
But yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything else.
We haven't talked about the smashing.
The smashing of the head. of episode 9.
Yes.
Were you expecting that at all?
So, if you guys didn't say anything about something is better than the car scene or the car door scene, I wouldn't have fully expected it. But because I didn't know what to expect, actually. So, no, I didn't expect that, but I was expecting something. And the moment he put his hands on his head, I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. And as he kept going, I was like,
yeah.
Oh no.
Just like the comics.
They're showing that they're showing his like superhuman strength, honestly.
Dude, he's a little crazy.
Oh man. Oh god. And even like the task force being like, they're getting it to where it feels like his, like how in the comics he has like his like his task force is like, it's like his like force, hired bodyguards and all that.
Yeah.
But now it has that vibe now, right? It has that vibe when, if you see like the comics or even the games or movies or games where like, oh, you have thugs that you beat up and then you have like the armored dudes that you beat up. It's those guys. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it's
that is cool.
The ramp up's cool. I can't wait for season 2 for this.
Can't wait for more.
Can't wait for more.
Yeah. I mean, now Matt is suiting up just a little bit.
I was expecting a new suit. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too.
But also weird. Oh, so can you answer this real quick? Did you watch She-Hulk?
Not really. Like clips.
Okay.
Clips.
When? Because I know there's a whole Matt thing there too.
Yes, I watched that clip.
When was that taking place? Because he had a different suit back then.
I think this takes place after everything.
Well, yeah. This show takes place after. I meant She-Hulk.
Oh, She-Hulk. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I'm just trying to line up when suits changed at this point, because I actually thought he would get a new suit.
Because he had a different suit.
I thought he'd have a different
gold
suit.
one.
Yeah.
Well, and Echo, he had the all gold and red.
Yeah. Which is also She-Hulk. No?
Yeah, that was also She-Hulk. Yeah, you're right.
Like that was the OG, like his initial suit, I believe. Like his
suit, yeah.
Classic suit.
Yeah, and this one's the dark one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
That's a good question.
It's fine. We'll get more suits.
I'm ready.
I wonder who's making his suits at this point, though.
I know. I was like, wow.
Because it used to be that one dude.
Yeah. In season 1.
Yeah, that he's protecting, but now he's not Hell's Kitchen. Oh, so was the apartment at the end the Hell's Kitchen one?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I had to make sure. I was like, this is the Hell's Kitchen one, right? I'm not crazy? Okay, cool. And I like how
blown up now.
Frank's just like, there's no coffee here. What the heck?
You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for more Frank.
I am excited for more.
I think we're about to see a lot more Frank.
Homeboy's like, turns on the Riz. It's like, hey man, where are you from? Oh, nice. That's cool. Breaks arm.
What's your last name?
Yeah, what's your last name? That's cool, man. You know, I appreciate. He turned on his John Berthel moment.
I love it.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. Do you want the Defenders to come back?
I don't know yet.
Echo?
I don't know yet.
And any of those people?
I don't know yet.
Spider-Man? You know, by the end of episode 9, I was like, Spider-Man, where are you at?
I was expecting a really quick Spider-Man cameo. Or like a silhouette or something. But I don't think they could have gotten... Because it would have to be like a Tom Holland voice or whoever they're doing at this point. Because I think Tom Holland's back, right? Based on the chairs.
Yeah, but he's
based
busy,
on the chairs.
filming the Odyssey with
Right,
Christopher Nolan.
right.
Yeah.
So I was kind of half expecting a Spider-Man silhouette, but it didn't happen. I'm like, it's fine, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Just get the Daredevil stuff out of the way. You know, get the people from Daredevil first.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think about it.
Daredevil inadvertently giving Poindexter a weapon. His own teeth. His own tooth.
I mean, Poindexter wasn't even going to kill Matt. He was
Nope.
he was aiming for Fisk.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, remember how he escaped? At first I was like, oh, how's he going to escape? And he, like, grins. I was like, oh, God, that's his tooth.
That was a little nasty. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to close this out before we rant for another 20 minutes over Daredevil. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all of our socials at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below what your thoughts were. Did you like this season? Did you not? Who knows? I don't know. But make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. That's all I know you'll do. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.